attempting the skill shot.
It was a bit half-hearted, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it didn't seem to have the pace in it.
Did he play that in a way? Was in a sort of like a deliberate foul kind of way? Because
I don't see the advantage though, because
with that black being there,
with that black, I mean, yeah, he's got to use. I mean, maybe you can't bank on Mark not making the black, because he's going to have to use his free shot to get the yellow out at the top of the table.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
But you can't bank on Mark not potting that black. I mean, it's in a perfect position for a double. If he chooses to, it's one of those doubles that you'd be shocked if he missed. But also, if he wanted to play on it down the rail, that's not a problem as well. It's a bit of a. I think he was just trying the skill shot and it didn't happen. But I think Mark is trying to move the black here. He's very happy with that. That's come out nicely for him.
Yeah.
So what was our predictions in the professional? I think did I have.
You had Clint Ianson to beat
Greg in the final. Greg Batten in the final.
Yeah.
So,
and I had Liam Dunster to beat Neil Raybo.
Okay. So we're both still in with a shout.
Just like Liam and Neil are both probably two of the most solid players on the tour.
Yeah.
I fancy one of them getting to the final. Neil's going to have his work cut out because, like I say, he's got the winner of these two. And he's just knocked out the world champion Craig Marsh.
Yeah. I think with Neil and Liam, every player needs to find their own, play within themselves, but find the right shot. You know, in terms of attacking, defensive attack. You know, what's the right shot for them. But I think if you're just a nice club player watching the stream, I think Neil and Liam would be two guys to watch and learn how they go about their finishes and their frames, because they don't go always in the ultra attacking style that a lot of these guys do. And I think you can learn a lot from them, shot selection wise.
Definitely.
Because some of the stuff these top boys are doing, if you're watching at home, they're making the game look a lot easier than it is, and it's hard to replicate that. But some of the shot selections, simple shot selections that those two guys take, I think can really help you learn the ways to win frames of ball.
Has he come too far on this double?
I think he can just screw this in and straighten the angle nicely. Yeah. Far jaw, but it went in. So 3-0 lead for Mark now.
Yeah. Almost forgot what I was doing now because it's tough.
Time to update some stats.
Yeah. Just gonna nip off to the toilet, Simon. If you just take the reins on the stats.
Top table. White, no sugar.
Tea,
yeah.
Do a pour Ben before it took the microphone then.
Oh yeah.
Keep that little.
So it's Mark to break. He came up dry with his previous break. It's well talked about that Mark's break isn't as strong as some of the other guys at the top of the game, but something he works hard on to improve. Let's see how he goes here. Seemed to catch that one really nicely. He caught that break well. He's got a good split. He'll be annoyed to finish right at the top rail, but fortunately for him, the yellow has come up there as well. So yellows are a good chance here, but he could also go reds as well. He's got if he can see the red through the gap of the yellows to them and put it to the left middle, then reds are a chance. Probably depends how the red and yellow on the sort of the brown spot, if you like, how tied up much they cover each other, which way he goes here. My first thought was yellows, but very often I'm wrong, so we shall see. Mark's deciding, we can update you that Ronan McCarthy has won 8-4 over Luke Wrigglesworth, and Liam Dunster has won. I don't know the final score, but he has won. So Ronan will play Liam in the next round. That match will probably be getting underway in about 5 minutes' time. Mark's not finished ideally here, although I think he can see through the gap of the yellow and the red to pot. Yes, he can, so that's not too bad. I think he would have preferred to be on the red on the right hand side that he's nearest to, but had to reroute and go a different way. I believe the red at the top of the table nearest the brown spot goes to the top left. If it does, then it's absolutely fine. If it doesn't, then that might need to be solved. Or played on into possibly the right middle, possibly the top right. It looks tight for that. But of course if it goes to the top left, then it's no problem at all. Just needs to be careful not to flick a yellow when he puts this red in along the bottom rail. Wants to avoid both yellows. Yeah, we've seen him pointing the cue through the gap, so it looks like he wants to go through the two of them. Did catch that yellow, and that's going to cause him a problem. He's not on the next ball. Yeah, I think it's a fairly good shot from Mark. I think Ben can probably see the one to the top right to pot it, but that's a tough shot. I think don't think he can see the yellow to pot at the bottom, just below the black. He might be able to just feather it, but I don't think he can see enough of it to pot it. So he's got this long one along the rail at the top. Cued that in lovely, really nice. Important frame for Ben now. Now he's got in with a chance in this frame. It's important for him to get on the board. 4-0 down to the tour number 1 is tough. Even if you're as good as Ben Davies, 4-0 down to Mark Farnsworth is a tough spot to be in. So he needs to get on the board. Ben's just having a good look to see what he can do with that yellow next to the red. Checking to see if it went into the right middle. Which pocket it will go in. I think he's just about got far enough with that white there. He would like to be able to pot the one he's nearest to the top right, and just he probably wants to be a fraction less angle on it so that he could hold for the other yellow to the top left, but he can't, so he's having to reroute slightly. That's a well controlled shot. Ben's just considering whether he just drops this yellow in and takes the longer black or screws back off the red. It's good black. Would have liked to have been better on it than he was, but made it all the same, so gets himself on the board. So far Ben's had 2 breaks, 2 dry breaks, and they've been pretty awful splits and congested and not good. Normally Ben's break is massive, he sends them far and wide, and whether it makes a ball or not, he normally leaves a good chance for a finish. Let's see if that can happen this time. You can see it's absolutely huge break. And those yellows look quite nice. Good chance here on the yellows. I think he could go reds if he wanted to, but I think yellows are the option here. Wanted another foot on that. Just he wanted to play on the ones to the top 2, to the top right. But he's okay. He might decide he still needs to cue one of these in from at the top of the table. See, what he's thinking is he was saying on commentary, for those of you who've been watching all weekend, that he works backwards from the black. It's just gone in. So he'd already know that the way he's finishing off this finish with the last 3 at the bottom, if he finishes straight to the yellow to the bottom left, it's a stun shot in, which leaves a stun shot for the other yellow to the bottom right, and it's black to the bottom left. So he already knows that. He just needs to get straight on that ball. So he was playing on the ones at the top. He's just about straight enough on this, I think. Might have a fraction too much angle, which might cause him a problem. He's taken a bit more time on this, which probably suggests he has got too much angle on this yellow, so he may have to sort of maybe even stun into the yellow. Oh no, he could hold. That was well played. So it's a bit more like it from Ben, with a great break and a smooth finish to follow. It's the first break dish of the match for Ben. As we can see, that was the first pot off the break for Ben, and he followed it with a break dish. As I just flicked up the stats for you. Not many missed pots in the match so far, but a couple of unforced errors, and it's just been a bit tactical, really. Yeah, Mark he's hit that break really well as well, so there's always a lot said about Mark's break, but he's hit the last 2 breaks really, really well. Not the greatest split for him. He's got problems with both reds and yellows in 2 areas, both the same. But I should imagine reds are his choice. A little bit more ammunition with the reds to get the yellows out, to get the 2 bad reds out. So reds would be his choice, but tricky. I think he wanted an angle on the red that's below the black to be able to stun into the red on the rail to nudge that one out and hopefully knock it over the right middle. But he's not. He's got the wrong angle, so he's going to have to go back to that now. He's going to have to go a different way. Doesn't want to take that ball because that's still the best ball to get that other red out. So he'll have to come back for it now. That's a better angle for him. So in an ideal world, he wants to cannon the red, and he wants that red to pop out and be potable to the right middle. So anywhere over, near, around that right middle, just below it preferably, so that he can then pop that one either next or the shot after next to get the red at the top out. So it's not ideal. I think he can still pot the one he's next to, and the angle might even be perfect to screw back to cannon the red and yellow at the top, but he's so close to it. I think camera 5 shows this perfectly. It's so close to it. It's so hard to get the pace into it. You know, he didn't have the angle quite to do what I said, but he's played on a double, and he's finished pretty nicely on that. That's well played. Still got to cue this one in. Very, very nice. It's a great finish. This was tough. This was two bad balls, and took his time to work them out, and then just worked his way through the finish. Very, very good. It's back-to-back break dishes. So after some tactical frames, we're up and running with the break dishes. So can Ben continue the run? Last one was a massive break. I'd say probably didn't catch that one quite as well, but it's still massive. And what a chance this is. First thought was yellows, but in hindsight I'm now thinking reds. In truth it probably doesn't matter, but reds are the way. Hard to see where he can go wrong. Maybe the red, one of the reds that he's going to have to cue in, possibly the one below, the second one of the two. The one he's about to play in the middle, then the next one he needs to be made down the rail. But thank you. Barring something careless, it's hard to see how he can go wrong now. Refreshments have arrived. Just got to be careful with this pot, but just roll him in. There we go. So you've been Andrew's back, but you've missed break dish, and we are 2 pots away from a third break dish on the trot.
Good stuff. Yeah. I'd get your brew before it goes too cold, because the water's nearly going cold, so there's not a lot of life left in that brew.
It's okay. It's nice enough.
Drinkable. Was that a break dish?
Yeah, but you put tie break.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Then you got to add one to the break pots from break.
Okay.
Yeah. So the last 2 breaks Mark's had, he's hit very, very well. The last one was a break finish. a lot said about his break, as I said before, when you were away getting the refreshments. But the last 2 breaks he's hit have been very, very good. So he hit another one.
So we're on course for a close match.
Yeah, he's hit that brilliantly again. See, Mark's breaking well here.
He's unfortunate there, though. I don't think.
His break at the moment, he's hitting well, but the white he's got it stunning back up the table. So it's something I suffer with actually. I quite often find the white finishes in the bulk area, which is okay if you've got a ball to go at, but quite often you want the white to be in the middle of the table, really. It gives you more options.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something I struggle with that. And the way he's breaking, he's going to get this a lot.
I was suffering from the same thing as you as well, and what I've started to do now is I screw the break. So I'm guaranteed to come back off the top cushion. And just a bit of luck.
That was a good shot.
If I catch it right, I can get it back down into the middle of the table, you know.
Yeah, I just found for myself, and the break I think is definitely something that you just have to play around with and experiment and find what works. The break for me, if I screw it, I lose control of the break. So I'd rather I'm working more on getting into the. So I'm not. So it's about how much you stun it. If I get into it just a hair too much, I'll come to the top of the table. If I catch it right, the white will just stop in the middle of the table. So it's a fine line, but that's my goal: is to stop the white dead almost in the middle of the table.
Yeah, and on my travels, I just stopped at the little boy's room, and Mark Boyle was throwing his IPA badge on the floor, and I thought, has he been beaten? And I said, how are you getting on, Mark? And he said he was 5-3 down, but I don't think he was very happy, so could be an exit for the amateur tournament favourite. That's not too bad.
It's okay, it's not ideal, but he's okay. I think he might play on it now, so take the one to the bottom right,
That's
just
right.
stun up a few inches and take the next one to the top left.
Yeah.
No problem at all, really. There we go. So this is for 4 on the trot. After a couple of tactical battles, this will be for 4 break finishes on the trot.
Yeah, it just shows you how the balls dictate, how the frame's going to go. Sometimes, the way the balls land offers you the chance to take it out in the first visit, and then other times sometimes your hand's forced, you've got to play safe. So good finish from Mark.
Yeah, it was a good break and good finish again. That's really heating up now.
So my prediction of a Ben Davies 8-5 win is looking rather slim now, because
you need 5 on the trot.
Don't follow my predictions in future.
Well, it's not dead in the water yet.
No.
My 8-7 call is a chance.
Just looking at some of those results there, Liam Dunster's finished off Ben Rowland 8-3, so Ben's weekend's come to an end, and Rona McCarthy victorious. Have you run through these?
Yeah, like a frame or two ago, but that match is now underway. I can see it in the corner.
Yeah, so. Gareth Ebbert's playing, just gone 1-0 up against Clint Janssen.
It's dry, but it's not a disaster, and it was almost a disaster if the white falls in. It's just a mini disaster now, because it's Mark's. Mark needs to pull out a tough pot to get into this visit now.
You always get them dry breaks when you're behind, don't you?
Yeah.
When you're behind, or when you really need them. Oh, so that white just dropped
White
in.
fell in, yeah. So that's just going to get replaced. They're having a laugh because the rule is if it 5 seconds, yeah, and it was definitely longer than 5 seconds. Yeah, I think it was nearer the top jaw than the middle jaw. I don't think it really matters too much. Yeah, I don't think that's too far away. It's probably a hair further in the middle, but I don't think it really matters. He's probably still going to have to play the same shot.
Yeah, and our listeners and watchers out there, if you could do us a huge favour and give us a thumbs up up on the stream and share with your friends, family, and
absolutely
fellow queuing colleagues at the club, and get as many people involved as you can, because we're trying to take this sport more mainstream.
Yeah, I'm one of the on the committee as a players' representative. I do very, very little in comparison to many, but it's quite inspiring actually to see how hard Kev and some of the team work with one goal, not for nothing. There's no personal agenda or anything. It's just to get this sport to where it belongs. So the more people we can get tuning in to watch this, the more opportunity we've got for pushing and promoting. So if you're enjoying the viewing, and you do enjoy the viewing, then let all your friends and family know, and let's build our audience.
Yeah. Yeah, most of these last 16 matches have been completed now. There's only this one and Greg Batten's match versus Jason Remington.
Yeah.
That's just showing that Greg's 4-3 in front of Jason. That might need updating, but
yeah, it's kind of one or two matches always end up in the draw a little bit behind, which has a knock-on effect in the schedule. And we can see that one of the matches, Clinton Hansen and Gareth Hibbert, were already 2-2 in the quarterfinals, and they could finish their match before this match finishes if one of those two gets on a roll.
Yeah. And now we have a section of the tournament floor that's now free for our table technicians to move in and start to break down tables. And
yeah, that's one of the more impressive things to watch is actually the way these guys put together the tables, and
it was unreal.
Arena.
I was here because I obviously delivered the tables, and I was here on Thursday night when they had that short time span from midnight to get it all ready for the morning, and the way it's all just rushed in and whipped up.
Yeah, we started at we got access to the room at midnight, which was unfortunate. We'd normally be looking to get access earlier in the morning on the Thursday, so we can get it all up and running by 6 PM for players to turn up and practice. But we got in at midnight, and all the tables, the arena and everything else, that was all set up by about 4 PM. Then whilst that was going on, our electrician, who's also one of the players on the tour, Dan Fairway, in the amateur section, he was busy setting up the lights. That's a great shot from Mark. He was busy setting up the lights, and he finished at 8:30 in the morning, with the players turning up at 9 o'clock for practice, with the first matches going on at 10 AM.
Yeah.
Our producer, with all the stream gear and everything else, he was, I think he was in about 5 or 6 in the morning, and in for 3 or 4 hours to set up before the first live stream game went on at 10 AM. So
yeah,
really impressive the way it all comes together. And yeah, well, it's a nice little extra nudge from Mark there, just to nudge that ball a little closer and a little better angle.
This is yeah.
Those first 3 shots have been fantastic.
He's got a very fine cutback here, and I don't think he's got any other option really. So he's going to be his white's going to be travelling at some pace here. Just looking where that white's likely to be careering into. So yeah, he's definitely got to mind his work here. He's looking at the angle it's going to come off that cushion. Oh, he could play it in a more controlled manner, and
has he finished on the yellow in the middle of the table?
I don't know.
No, just looking at his facial expression rather than the table.
Camera 5 shows us it doesn't.
Oh, okay. Yes, it doesn't. Yeah, just looking at Mark. So yeah, he was a fraction away from that. If he gets on that, then you expect him to finish almost, but. I'm not sure what options he's got here. The yellow he's nearest to doesn't go to the top right, doesn't go to the middle. One in the middle doesn't go. Is he looking at swerving round the ball? It's a big swerve. Camera 5 marks out the way now. You can see it's.
I think he's looking at a plant. Extremely difficult plant, but I think he's forced into it. I don't think he's got.
Okay, we might have to go back to the main camera to see his marks in the shot. Won't be able to see it. Yeah,
No, he's seen something else. Double.
Oh, he's gone for the long double. It's amazing how he works things out. That was possibly. Maybe he could have swerved around. If he swerves around, he's on nothing. He's picked out a shot that if he makes that shot, he wins the frame. The way he controlled the white. Okay, he hasn't made the shot, but I just like the shot selection there. It's that was the shot that would have won him the frame. So Ben's. Was probably fearing the worst once Mark made those first two balls and was expecting to go 6-3 down, I would have thought. So he's got a chance here to close the gap to 1 again. Yeah, just looking around the arena, and the table techs are in full swing. The electrician's just turned up to get going on that as well. So yeah, he's taking it all down. Is about to get underway. Ben's going to clear the one to the bottom now. So he looks absolutely perfect on it. Needs to be careful with the position. He doesn't want to leave himself too much angle on the next red at the top. I think he almost wants to get roughly back to the same angle he's got now, unless he plays on the one on the top rail. Yeah, back to the one he's got now.
Yeah, just wants to drag the. He could either screw across or drag it in.
I think in an ideal world he would have liked to have been an extra 2 inches to the left and just rolled it through, but. You say he's probably got the choice here where he can either just drag it in or stun across. He's rolling in's his choice, and he was straight enough to do that. And one good pot now. Natural angle is to get on the black, so should be fairly. Oh wow! I'm not sure what happened there. That was a. Wow, I'm not. That's incredible. I'm not sure what happened there at all. He missed that by a long way. That was a bizarre shot.
Yeah, he got up off the shot very quickly. I don't know. He got a kick or something. Yeah.
He missed that shot by so far that it's hard to see how he can get himself back in the match mentally here.
Yeah, and I feel that was a big chance for him to get back into the match to stay within one frame, and now his back's going to be well and truly against the wall.
Yeah, 5-4 or 6-3 is huge, but also the frustration of making the mistake he's just made.
So I've just got the chat up. So if you want to ask either myself or Simon any questions, we'll do our best to answer. If you can try and keep it pool related and clean for the younger viewers and maybe ladies present.
Mark just put his hand up in a kind of almost in an apologetic way, so I wonder whether that was just a horrific kick.
Yeah,
it was just the way he apologised. I've never seen anyone apologise for their opponent getting a kick before, but I'm not sure what he was apologising for, or indeed if he was apologising. He just raised his hand, but it's happened now, and he does have a 6-3 lead. If we can just update the scores, and I think we need to add on a missed pot as well. Or
yeah, I think I did that.
Already done that.
I've done that. Yeah, very little. Well, certainly no missed pots from Mr. Farnsworth yet, and only a couple from Ben. But that's such as a standard.
Mark's mistakes have kind of been positional mistakes, really, when he hasn't finished, rather than a missed ball. He's kind of not got on the ball as he would have wanted to. He has taken out a couple of really, really classy finishes as well.
This looks dry.
It is dry, okay. Right, now we'll see how composed Ben's been able to stay after that that mistake.
Yeah, in hindsight, yeah, if Ben had took that and was presented this opportunity, he could be going to level the match here instead of trying to get within 2 again. So. Just a question from Andre Robenheimer. What do you have to do to be able to go on the tour, and how much money would an average player earn on a yearly tour? Thanks.
Well, the tour is open to anyone. As a start, you can sign up. We'll follow us on Facebook, IPA Tour. Oh, what a great shot! Wow, that's amazing. That really is classy. Spotted a plant off the cushions, played the red onto a cushion into a plant to open everything up. That's a brilliant shot. To see that, the vision of that is amazing. Get yourself on Facebook and you'll see all the, follow us on Facebook, you can see all the announcement, and obviously check out our website. You can see all the announcements of when we're announcing the next year's tour, which it has happened, I think, for new players. You can sign up now, get your deposit in, but I think it's, off the top of my head, I think it's either £450 or £475 as an amateur player. And I think we're going to have about 180 amateurs, 160 amateurs maybe, depends how many players turn pro next year.
The answer to how much does the average player
not enough
earn on a yearly tour? Well, that depends how good you are.
Yeah. Well, to put it into perspective, the professionals, which we're talking about, today they're playing for £2,500 to the winner, I think, and yesterday in the Open it was £3,000 to the winner. So we have 5 of those, so that's 10 events through the year. We actually got the perfect person to answer coming in. Our chairman, Kevin Barton's going to join us shortly.
Yeah.
So there's 10 of those events, plus the World Series events, which have a £2,000 prize pot to the winner. So, and then the World Championship, and there's 6 of those. And then the World Championships, of course, which is £10,000 to the winner. So, you can work out what you think from how deep you'd have to go in tournaments to work it out. But that's the 17 tournaments you can play in, plus the doubles at the World Championships as well. So 18 tournaments.
What's happened here? He's oh dear.
Welcome, Kev. Good morning or afternoon.
Which is it? Can you just?
I don't know.
I've not seen any daylight since Thursday, so I'm not 100% certain.
Tied the black area up, but
we putting that down as an unforced error?
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's been a strange match so far, Kev. It's really tactical at the start, and then there was a run of 3 or 4 break dishes on the trot, and then that took us to 5-3. And in the last frame, Ben's missed probably the easiest ball I've ever seen him miss. I mean, I don't know whether it was a kick or not. It didn't. It's so difficult to tell, but it was quite unbelievable that he missed it, and we've just seen him make a mistake here, so he's visibly very frustrated.
Yeah, just watched him play those last couple of shots. He just got down and was hitting him.
Yeah, you can tell he's raging inside, really.
He just had a horrendous kick to take it within 1 frame in the last frame, and I think that's just sent his head a bit.
I think he's maybe frustrated. He knows he's playing well, put the hours in, and lost to Ronan yesterday and in the Open, so he was expecting to go a lot deeper.
Well, when you put the hours in and you're as good as Ben is, you do expect, that's what you're putting the hours in, is to go deep in these tournaments. So
this will be short.
Question from Jack Clark, this one for Coventry. When do you think Mark Farnsworth game will happen, and how much do you think it's for? Well, that's nothing to do with the IPA tour, to be honest. But that's something that they've got to agree between themselves.
That's been talked about for a long time. It wouldn't surprise me to see it happen. It wouldn't surprise me to see it never happen.
Well, they were talking of that game as being because they were the two informed players at the time, and now we've got Rob Donkins our champion. So why not Rob Donkin and Mark Boyle, or Rob Donkin and Mark Farnsworth? You know.
Well, on the form he showed yesterday, why not?
Yeah.
He was fantastic yesterday.
He could have beaten anyone yesterday. Meanwhile, he's got heavy control in this frame. Mark Farnsworth now. Ben's going to have to find some of the old Welsh magic.
You can see an edge.
You can see this, yeah.
He's going to be careering into that black, isn't he? And that black could be going anywhere.
Yeah, let him play this shot, and then we'll get Kev to pick his winner and runner-up. We've done it. Kev's at a bit more of an advantage because he's picking at the...
Look. He's unlucky there.
Wow. I think he knew he was potting the black when he played that shot.
Yep.
And so we picked our winners and runners-up predictions. You're a slight advantage because you're ahead of around behind where we picked. But what are you going for, Kev?
Well, I did pick earlier.
Oh, okay.
I did pick Clint versus Sheppy.
Okay.
Well, Sheppy's gone.
So Kev's out. That's
but
that's
that was then, and you're asking me now.
Here's your second bite of the cherry, Kev.
Well, you can't. Just got to think Liam Dunster might be due out.
Yeah, I would have gone for Liam, but somebody picked Liam ahead of me, so I've gone for Greg Batten to lose to Clint Hansen in the final. 8-5, I think I went for.
That's a huge break, and he's just gone dry.
So we've just got
dry break to go on the
F2
Ben.
His fourth one, which is very uncharacteristic of Ben. We've just got a quick question there from Andre again. Is there a junior tour, Kev?
No, but juniors can come on the IPA at reduced rates. But certainly, the IPA certainly doesn't do a junior tour. I think do the counties? Does EBPF do a junior
I don't know if they do it. Well, it's sort of. There's junior tournaments within the EBPF structure. Obviously, there's county games for juniors. There is a junior. So the National Tour Finals, which was run by the EBPF, has a junior section in it. That was played 2-3 weeks ago. So yeah, they do. But there's not that many events. Not as many as there should be, I think. But possibly down to the number of players turning up, I think. Really not quite getting the numbers they want for that.
Yeah, I think somebody's just confirmed on the chat that Mark Boyle's exited the amateurs.
Has he?
I think so, yeah.
I think no, they're still playing.
He's playing Mark Fleming.
He's still playing Mark Fleming. Yeah.
Right. Well, he was losing 5-3.
Yeah. Well, perhaps the person on the chat has got knowledge that we don't.
Maybe. Maybe.
It does look like they're still playing though.
Maybe knows. Maybe can see into the future.
Crystal ball.
Are we commentating on delay?
Yeah.
Are we not live, Dave?
Are we not live?
I'm just having a look over there. Simon Fitzsimmons and Scott Gillespie's just finished. It's just been a handshake. I think
This is
Simon's. I think Simon's the winner of that match.
Okay, well that means I'm still in the running for that little competition because I had him in the beating. I can't remember who I had him beating, but I had him winning the tournament.
Yeah, Simon. I think Simon's won that match, so I think Simon.
Oh, yeah. I had Simon beating Arfandad in the final, so yeah, I'm still in the running there. So
Arfand's losing to Jason Hill.
Oh dear, no,
there's only 5-4.
Oh, okay. We should add that I have absolutely no preference who wins any of these events. They're just my.
Yeah, it's just who you fancy.
Who you fancy for the day.
Out of 20 million.
Yeah. Mark's made 2 or 3 phenomenal finishes in this match, and this will be another very, very good finish.
Here's an interesting comment from Nigel McDonald. Anytime we put it up on the big screen in the pub, a lot of people watch Blackball pool.
That's great to hear. Yeah, it's great to hear. We know that the World Championship final that earlier this year between Craig Marsh and Simon Fitzsimmons was watched in a number of pubs. I think put up in a few clubs on big screens, and yeah, I think it's. I mean, the way we're filming and the quality of the filming, we are TV ready, HD TV ready, so it does look great on the big screen. So yeah, hope there's many more of you around the country doing that.
Yeah, and I think just looking at this now, it looks like Mark Farnsworth is putting the final nails in. Ben Davies is coughing. Just got a couple of balls here to negotiate.
No, we can confirm that Jason Hill has beaten our Dad, so my prediction is done in the amateur.
Yeah.
Don't know what the score was, but I know that Jason won just because he's walking across the arena with a scorecard.
I think this is a reverse dish as well.
It is, yeah. He's been the stronger player in the match and deserves the win. Moves on to the quarter-finals where he will play
Neil Raybone, I think.
Neil Raybone.
Just have a quick look at the stats there, and no missed pots in the whole match. 11 frames and no missed pots.
Yeah. 1
unforced error from Mark Farnsworth. That's a pretty high standard. And if you look at Ben's stats, he's got a couple of mixed pots and a couple of unforced errors. So he's not done a great deal wrong.
That kick on that pot was huge, really.
And the dry breaks, the four dry breaks, he's just not going to.
No. So we're going to have a little break. It'll probably be a few. Well, it depends what match comes on next. There's a chance. The next match available will be Mark Farnsworth versus Neil Raybone. That'll be ready to go. Or it could be the winner of Greg Batten and Jason Remington versus Ian Campbell. But Greg Batten and Jason Remington are still playing. I don't know what the current score is. I wouldn't surprise me if in the next 5 minutes we'll put Mark and Neil on, but I can't confirm that. So stay tuned. Time for another cuppa from everyone, and come back to us in about 5 minutes. We'll pick up commentary then.
Cheers, Simon.
Mark White, Simon Simmons, through. Simon Young. On table 2, Mark Farnsworth, Neil Davies.